Hey, what up, team? We back. It's Joe Mill here with Killer Miller Q. It's part 2 of the preseason kickoff edition with Mama and Papa Joe's. We're getting right back into that Snake River Farms brisket. I'm gonna be breaking this thing down and showing you a little bit of some game day prep, some different ideas you can do for your football spread. But we're not gonna take too much time. Let's get right to it. Part 2 of this thing is about to kick off right now. If you did not see part 1 of this whole preseason kickoff challenge, I'm gonna put a link up there. Make sure that you check that out so you can see how I got that Snake River Farms brisket together, and now you understand what we just did and what we're about to do right now. Basically, we're gonna break this thing down 4 ways. I'm going to show you how to take that brisket. Many times I would talk to people and they would say, you know, as much as I love brisket, I don't know exactly what to do with it, and it's just too much meat. And I used to feel the exact same way until I started learning about how to make tallow, until I started cutting it a little bit differently so it would actually come out better, and taking that meat and then grinding it up and wanting to do sausage and hamburger meat or whatever have you, stuff like that, or ground beef. That's the type of stuff that actually made that brisket go a lot faster than I thought, than when I was just eating it as straight slices the whole way or making burn ends, all that type of stuff. So today, with the spirit of football, we're gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I want to give a big shout out to not only my Cowboy fans out there, but them Cowboy haters out there. Y'all are the reason we are the season, if you already know what I'm saying, okay? We're gonna go ahead and get this thing kicked off right, since it is football season. I already know I'm gonna have a whole lot of hate coming my way, so I'm ready to go. With that said, I'm gonna show you how to break this thing down. We're gonna do brisket tacos, we're gonna do brisket nachos, we're gonna do brisket queso, and then we're gonna turn around and we're gonna do also a brisket quesadilla. So we're gonna not talk too much. I'm gonna get straight into this thing. First things first, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna put together this brisket queso. So with this queso, you are looking at the ingredients that we're gonna need. Nothing too crazy. All right, we're gonna start off with a little bit of this Velveeta cheese. And I just went ahead and chopped these into blocks, more or less, so it'll be a little bit easier on the breakdown process. Got me an aluminum pan over here that I've already kind of sprayed. From there, I think I'll go with about a half of a red onion. Just gonna toss that right in there, just like that. At the end of the day, there's no rhyme or reason, man. This is literally gonna all melt together and congeal, so it's gonna be all right. Got a couple cheeses that's gonna be going in. Or first, let's do these jalapenos. Got 2 whole jalapenos. I take out the seeds and the stems. We don't do too much heat over here, so try to make it where everybody can get a little bit of something. That's going in. We just got those chopped up to whatever size you want, but keep in mind this is a queso, so you don't want to go too crazy. One of the next things I'm gonna go with is I got some of this Monterey Jack cheese. This is about a cup of that going directly in. Let's believe I'll come back and get all my remnants. Also got another cup of pepper jack. Brings that flavor with that pepper jack. A little bit of heat too. A little bit of kick on there. Wouldn't be a good one without it. We got our smoked Gouda. Smoked Gouda, cup of that. All right, so basically this is nothing but some of that brisket point. I like to use the point because it's got a little more fat in there that's going to break down and kind of give me a little bit into my meat, or into this overall queso. So I got a pound of that I pretty much chopped up, and I left a couple big pieces in there as well. We're getting that in there. I got a block of cream cheese that I threw in the cubes. That's going in there. We're gonna make us a big old goulash. Went and pulled out my gospel meat church rub, the barbecue rub, the holy gospel. I got a tablespoon of that I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle right across everything. And the last couple things that's going in, focus in on me. Got me some rotel. You can use whatever type you like. I went with Chipotle. That's what they had at my local grocery store. Otherwise, I probably would have went with like fire roasted or something like that. Last thing, give it a little bit of creaminess. We got that cream of mushroom. All of this is going in. I'm bringing my pellet grill right now up to temp. We're gonna be cooking at 300. Let me get this out of here with my spatula and I'll be right back and let you see it. There it is. I could have took the time to make some beautiful piles like we did the first time we made this smoked queso, which I'll make sure I put a link in there. You know, it'll be a little bit slower. We can break down exactly how we're going to do this and why and everything. But it's football season. I just want to show you how it's going to be. Throw it all up in there. We're going to get this thing done. Next thing you know, we're going over here to the smoker. Chugging it right along, family. Here we are, 300 on the Green Mountain. We've been in here about an hour and a half. We getting a good roasting on everything and a good toasting, getting some of that smoke flavor in. We're gonna mix all of this up, and then I'll probably let it hold out in about another hour before we kind of pull it off. Okay. 3 hours in, still rolling at 300, steady Freddy with this old Green Mountain grill smoke pellet grill. These are some things that let you know this is done. First off, it ain't nothing but cheese. Everything in here, oops, it's cooked. But you see everything starting to bubble a little bit. A lot of that be that cream cheese that's actually the last thing that likes to melt up. Once I'm seeing that starting to break down pretty well, I know I'm done, and then I always sprayed it. But if you start seeing any too much sticking, but like I said, at about 3 hours, really all I'm trying to do is get some smoke in. So I'm about to mix this up. We're gonna pull this out and I'll show you how we garnish it up. Hey team, I want to jump in here real quick and let you know thanks for following along today on this bonus coverage and all this preseason kickoff. Needless to say, I'm ready for football. I hope you're ready for football. Make sure that you take a second to not only go to this bottom right corner if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. Check out other cooks that you already missed. But I'm also going to put a link in here for CJ's channel. Go on over there. Make sure you give him a big old shout out from Killer Miller Q and subscribe to his channel as well. Great content all the way around. With that said, let's get back to some of this prep and I'll show you how we're gonna get this done. For these nachos, we are going to be using the NFL's own branded Tostitos. One thing I do like about this restaurant style is they're nice and big. You know, they so that way you can get a good nacho that's going to actually have something to be able to hold on to everything we about to throw on these babies. Obviously, you are very optional on the different cheeses that you can use, but this is how we're going to do it today, Killer Miller Q style. We using the flat as far as the meat today. Get rid of any of the extra little bit of fat. These aren't going to get warmed up that long, so I want these to warm up quick, and I also don't want to end up with no fatty pieces for none of my company to end up eating. Choose the cheeses that I'm gonna be using today. Is I got some pepper jack, freshly off the block, always preferred, shredded up, as well as I also got some Monterey Jack, and of course I got me some good old-fashioned sharp cheddar. What I did was I went ahead and took me some of these restaurant style Tostitos, and I made me a little foil boat with a top. These are going into the oven on 350. I'm gonna get these nice and warm. We're gonna open them up. We're gonna decorate them. We'll get the broil on. We'll come back over. We're gonna let everything get warmed up and then get this cheeses melted. And they going on the platter and they'll be ready to rock. This is something nice and easy, but I guarantee these is gonna come out fire. All right, so here go those nachos. We got them babies already warmed up, so they nice and warm. Just kind of made a nice little bed for them to lay in, full of that cheddar, some of that mozzarella, some of that pepper jack, and then got me some good pieces of that brisket on there. Like I said, the flat, and then finished it off with a little bit of more of the same, along with some of that queso fresco and that cojita. I'm putting this in on broil, and these babies coming out ready to rock. Now on to this quesadilla. It would not be a quesadilla if it wasn't nice and cheesy. So best believe you see a few different cheeses along with the good old-fashioned brisket. Once again, I'm gonna be using a little bit of the flat for this, so again, I don't want nothing too fatty, and it won't take a whole long time for this to warm up. I'm actually gonna be using the quesadilla maker that we got. So with that said, if you just got a skillet, you can do that. I could have did this on my Blackstone or something like that, but quesadilla maker is gonna make short work of this, be like a Foreman grill. Basically, I got some of that flat already cut up, some cojita or cotija, whatever. I'm sure I'm horrible in butchering that. I got a little bit of the pepper jack, a little bit of the Monterey, got a little bit of the cheddar, and some pretty much chopped red onions, along with some of this queso fresco. Basically, we'll build this whole thing out, and then I'm just gonna give it a short little press, and then we'll split it up. This one's gonna be super easy, but another one we about to get knocked out. Oh, did I forget? Whatever tortilla styles you like, I'm going more of a flour guy, and then I like one of the ones that looks a little bit more towards the authentic side as far as the feel and everything, and usually go for one that's a little bit bigger than my hand. And there you go. There's that quesadilla. Should be looking something like that. We pretty much got a mix of all those cheeses on there. I said it ain't no cheese quesadilla or quesadilla if it don't got a whole lot of cheese on there. So you got a mix of the Monterey, you got a mix of the pepper jack, you got some cheddar on there, you got queso fresco, you got cojita or cotija, whatever you want to say, and you got some of those red onions on there, and of course you got some of that brisket flat. We're gonna go ahead and press these down, and that's easy money right there. Alright, for these tacos, you already see that I have went with the point this time. I want some of that fatty meat over here to give me a little bit more. As we about to cook this down a little bit more together, I got me a heaping amount of cilantro that we done somewhat cleaned and chopped up, along with some of those red onions, and like we said, some of that brisket point meat already chopped up pretty well. We're about to bring this together over some heat. I'll show you what it looked like. We're gonna tuck these street taco shells. I like to go with these flour mission street tacos, the small ones, and we'll get those heated up in the oven, and we'll throw it together quick fast. Should end up with your meat looking pretty much something just like that. Street tacos are already in the oven, just on a flat pan with a little bit of Pam on there, and then we're gonna get ready and throw this thing together. Okay. If you can't tell, the spread has come to town. Take a look at what we put together here. One brisket, 4 ways. We ran out of space over here, so I had to sneak some stuff over here on my side shelf. So we got that brisket queso. Brisket queso. Basically went ahead and just topped that off with a little bit of bacon crumbled up, some sour cream, some special little salsa that we put together, and some jalapenos. Got some chips over there ready to dip. Over here we got our brisket tacos topped off with that cojita cheese. Tried one back there with a little bit of that salsa mix that I put together. Everything's homemade, everything's fresh. We got sour cream, we got regular tomatoes, we got lettuce. That's gonna be more or less to dice or to go ahead and top off these brisket nachos. Now that they nice and warmed up. Last but not least, we got this brisket quesadilla chilling over here, ready for war. Check out this salsa we put together. Little refried beans, a little fresh guac. Man, I can't taste everything, but we got to try something. We got a spread ready to rock. This is how we do for preseason football. You only can imagine what we're gonna be doing every Sunday. All right, team, that thing is officially done. First and foremost, before I start tasting and forget everything, big shout out to CJ. If you did not yet, take the time to go over there and check out his channel. Make sure that you let him know that Killer Miller sent you, and subscribe. Do yourself the favor. Check out some of his content. He's way more advanced than me, and I appreciate him for collaborating with me. And this has been fun. Definitely putting my skills a little bit to the test. Yesterday, if you didn't already see part 1, check out the brisket cook from both of us, so you can kind of see how we got here today. And the whole idea about today was being able to show you some different things you can put together for on game day with this brisket to kind of break this thing down and stretch that meat out. So with that said, I can't taste all this food, but you already got to see what we're looking at. Let's decide what we gonna taste. One thing, which is clean, is I got to get one of these little pretty quesadillas. I'm gonna dip some of that in one of these sour creams. Love it, love it. I instantly just want to start eating and dipping on everything. Quesadilla is solid. Can't complain on that. I'm not even going to start on those nachos. That's going to be for me once I go in here and mess around with this game. However, I am going to be excited to kind of play around with some of this dip. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting me one of these tacos. This is our staple at our house. You can go with a little bit of sprinkle of lime on there. Today I threw a little bit of that homemade salsa that we put together on there, along with these beans or that guac. Any combination will do. I got an extra jalapeno pepper there for people that like to pop. But hey, let me tell you, you can't go wrong. I'm gonna go right here. Fresh lime off my own tree. I lost it. Oh yeah. Hey, this one right here is to the cook. This was worth every bit of it. CJ, I appreciate you, bro. Killer Miller Q, here on this collabo with Mama and Papa Joe's. Peace.